A couple weeks ago, I made a video regarding a practice that I've chosen to incorporate in my life. At least I'm trying to, and that is saying what I mean. It's been a couple weeks and more thoughts have arisen, and I thought I'd take some time to share those thoughts with you in a follow-up video today. To set the scene for this conversation, I'll start by saying that when I look at the act of saying what I mean, I see that as one component of a larger structure or framework. And that framework ultimately is my identity. We all have one. There are numerous components that attribute to your identity as a person. We could spend an hour talking about each one. I promise you, we're not going to do that. For me, one of the biggest components that I think is critical to one's identity is integrity. When I think of integrity, I think of one word, and that is follow through. What you believe, what your principles are, everything that you stand for, your integrity shines when you follow through on those beliefs and principles through your words and through your actions. Whatever decisions that we make can either build our integrity or it can weaken and tear down our integrity. It's a big responsibility for each of us to be able to maintain our own integrity. We live in a day and age where there is this genuine desire to be liked. I don't know if it's just a day and age. I think that's just the human experience. Everyone has a desire to be liked because being liked and appreciated in some way can equal out to that feeling of being accepted by your family, your friends, members of your community, at church or at work or any other social gatherings or social groups that you might have. To be clear, I think it's super normal to want to be accepted and to be liked. The question that you ask yourself, and you can ask this yourself right now, what am I willing to do in order to be liked and accepted and appreciated? And that can be a variety of different things. It could be that you're non-confrontational because avoiding conflict makes you more likable. It could be that you're more of like a people pleaser where you're willing to do whatever is asked of you. You'll just say yes to whatever is asked of you because you know that it contributes to your likability as a person. There's a variety of other examples that I could give. I think the challenge comes when our desire to be liked circumvents our commitment to demonstrating integrity. What do I mean by this? Well, there's many examples that I could give, but there are some simple ones that happen in the day-to-day. If you're a yes person and you find yourself in scenarios where you're agreeing to do things that go beyond your capacity, like let's say you have other responsibilities that you have at home or work or school, and you say, yes, I'll absolutely do it, but you don't have the bandwidth to support that commitment, that is a violation of your integrity. And that can be a violation in your integrity to other people whom you have obligations and commitments. And it can also be a violation of integrity to yourself as well. You could be in a situation maybe where you don't have plans, but you're exhausted and you need to use that time to rest and take a break. In you saying yes, yes, for the sole goal of increasing your likability status, you're violating your integrity to yourself. So that's one example. Another one that I would consider a little bit more serious are circumstances that occur where you see something happen and you know that it violates your beliefs or principles. And that also has subcategories to it. It could be that you have a core principle and you're in a group conversation and someone asks you, hey, what do you think about this? And instead of saying what you believe, you choose to give a lukewarm, non-committal, high overview, like a generic response of, oh, I know everyone's got different opinions. I've got some, but it's not a big deal. And you just kind of dilute it. Or you say something completely contrary to what you believe. Why? Because you're trying to either increase or maintain your likability status. I'm saying this as someone that is guilty of that myself. That's part of the reason I had to stop and really take a hard look at who I was as a person, I found myself saying that I agreed to certain things when in actuality I didn't. And I either was silent or I gave a generic answer, or I just said, oh, these are interesting conversations, and just kind of stood by the wayside instead of speaking up. And I would say over the past 6 months, I'm a lot more assertive about what I mean. And again, there's a way to say and articulate things in a way that is gracious to where you're not being intense and offensive and still be able to speak with confidence about what you stand for. So those are a couple of examples that come to mind. It is tremendously challenging to maintain integrity, especially with that desire to please other people and to be liked by other people. So what do? How do you maintain integrity and being likable at the same time? I think the quick answer is you can't really have both, in my opinion. I think that at the end of the day, integrity needs to be prioritized over being like every day of the week. Because at the end of the day, you have to live with you. And if you're finding that the decisions that you're making on a day-to-day basis are eroding your integrity, your self-esteem as a person is going to inevitably go down, because you're allowing other people's opinions and preferences and convictions to infuse your own, and you're not employing individual critical thinking for yourself. That will end up biting you in the butt later. I can promise you that. So integrity, more important than being liked. In addition to that, I would take stock of what your principles and beliefs and convictions are. Really think through them. Are they beliefs and convictions, or are they preferences? Delineate between the two of them. And then from there, make it a point in your mind as you're going into conversations with friends or family, start brainstorming the messaging that you want to articulate when those situations arise again. Remember, you don't need to be unkind, you don't need to be rude, but you do need to be clear, because those things contribute to your integrity. As it pertains to scenarios where you're asked to do something or someone wants you to do something, stop and think, do I have the bandwidth for this? Give yourself time to ask yourself that question. And if you do, ask yourself, do I have the emotional, physical bandwidth? Am I like caught up in a way where I am able to actually be mentally, emotionally, physically like present to assist to help that person and to support that person? If you are, great, that's your choice. If you're not, it's okay to say no. Those are some of the things that I think about. Again, going back to what I said about saying what you mean, that feeds into your integrity. And our integrity is a component of our identity. And while it's okay to have a desire to be liked, we should not allow the desire to be liked to circumvent our integrity at the end of the day. I hope that that's helpful for you. You're not alone. It'll be something that we always struggle with. But I think calling it out, making those necessary changes makes a huge difference. We're able to look ourselves in the mirror. We're able to really be our best self for ourselves and for other people. I hope that's helpful.